In studio today, Catherine is from the UK and Brittany is from the USA, and they met here in South Africa in Cape Town. And so I welcome you both into studio. Thank you for being with me.
Thanks for having us, Susana.
Thanks for having us.
And you guys decided to start a company.
Yeah.
How did that begin?
Well, it actually started after we froze our eggs. So it's a fertility-based company, and we're all about optimizing fertility.
How did you guys decide to go, okay, we're both freezing eggs, there's different reasons for us freezing eggs, because I think that's also an important thing to understand, is so many women go, oh, freezing eggs, that's not for me.
But when your fertility starts to slip into your 30s, basically you have to start thinking, when do I realistically think that I want to start a family? I'm actually in a relationship, a great relationship, but I just decided we're not there yet, we're not ready. Kat had just gotten out of a relationship and decided I'm just, I don't know when I'm going to find the person, so I'm just going to, take this out as an insurance policy. But really, it's you're never going to be younger than you are right now.
Yes.
And so freezing your eggs, you're essentially freezing your eggs, their eggs' biological age in time.
It's so interesting because I know women that are being told by their gynecologists to freeze their eggs, and they're in their mid-20s, and they get told, listen, if you want to freeze your eggs, now's actually a really good time. And it's kind of crazy because in your 20s you're still kind of wild, right? And you're still not eating the right foods, drinking all the wrong drinks. How old were you guys when you decided you were going to freeze your eggs?
So I was actually 32, and I think Brittany was 33.
Yeah, I was 33.
33, okay. The average age of freezing your eggs is how old?
It's between 36 and 38.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is later than doctors would recommend biologically.
Okay.
It is a cost-benefit analysis. What age are your eggs at their biological best, but at what age are you likely to get some use out of them, which represents value for money? So scientists, I think it was at Harvard, crunched all the numbers and they said
that it's 37 was the optimal age, right?
37? I thought that those were geriatric eggs.
So it really is a balance between how likely you might be to use your frozen eggs and when is the best biological age to do it.
And I think that leads us on to this next topic. It's not just about freezing your eggs and having enough eggs, but really having good quality eggs, which is something that isn't really spoken about. So let's chat a little bit about that. And maybe let's just chat about why that is so important.
What's interesting is that fertility rates are massively higher than they were. To understand that age-related fertility as well as lifestyle-based factors are all related to egg quality. 40 to 50% of the time, miscarriage is due to low-quality eggs.
So I think that's one of the biggest misunderstandings, isn't it? Is that so many people are going to freeze their eggs, but they're not focusing on the quality of the eggs that they are freezing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's something that not only are people all around the world completely underestimating the extent of age-related fertility decline, but also that we can do something about it, and that's really where egg quality comes in. So it's not really something we hear about. A lot of people are aware of infertility issues in general, but not the root cause of them, or the majority of them. And when it comes to age infertility, the crucial factor is just the quality of the egg itself. The body's ability to be able to mature and produce quality eggs as you get older declines. And that's really the foundation of female fertility.
You ladies have 10 tips for women who want to freeze their eggs on how to make them as healthy as possible.
All of the advice that we're going to give today is actually not just about egg freezing. It can be related to natural conception, IVF, or even trying to maintain your fertility naturally for as long as possible. Your eggs mature within a 3-month time period prior to ovulation. So that is actually when they both grow massively in size and in structure. So it's the 90-day period when you can actually make these key changes that will have an influence on your egg.
Just a question. I know we're speaking about female fertility, but would the same apply to male fertility? Is it pretty similar? Obviously, fertility needs to be good and healthy in both male and female to conceive properly. But I think most men think, I can get someone pregnant anytime. It doesn't really matter. And the reality is that you possibly could, but there's more and more chance of that child not being okay, you know, and not being at optimum health. And as any parent, if you're a parent, you'll completely understand, but any parent, any person wanting to be a parent, your biggest fear is that your child isn't whole and healthy. It's the biggest fear.
Yes, there's a lot of salient research around lifestyle factors that influence sperm health. And yes, stay tuned for our next program. They're not exactly the same as what we're going to talk about here, because the ovary is such a unique and complex thing that is based on all kinds of specific hormonal balances that are different than the ones you need for men. So yes, that is a totally 100% important part of the equation, but it does indicate a different balance of lifestyle factors that influence it, for sure.
Okay, let's jump onto these 10 things that will help us achieve optimum quality of our eggs.
Sure, yes. Number one, minimize plastic in your kitchen. We hear a lot about plastics being bad for the environment and bad for our health in general, but that includes reproductive health. So the chemicals in plastics, many studies around the world have shown that they disrupt your hormones, and hormone balance is obviously really important for reproductive functions, like the proper maturation of your eggs. BPA is one that you've probably heard of. So it's known colloquially as a gender-bending chemical.
Gender-bending
chemical. So it's linked to things like man boobs,
moves.
Yeah.
It basically has a hormone mimicking effect in your body that can whack your own hormones out of balance. But it's not even just about BPA. So replacements that might technically be allowed, things like PPE, are now also being shown to have the same effect anyway. So this is particularly where plastics might leach into food and drinks, like with microwaved Tupperware or plastic takeaway punnets.
Yeah.
The rule of thumb is the longer time it spends in the plastic, the more time it has to leach into your food. And then secondly is heating.
A lot of people will take a Tupperware out their fridge, and the Tupperware is made out of plastic, and then they heat that in the microwave, not realizing that there is a chemical reaction that happens when heat is involved. And so you have to be aware of that, guys. That's what you're doing. You're actually literally filling your food with poisons that are not good for you.
And exactly the same goes for water, so switching to glass water bottles as much as possible is important.
Is a big one. When people leave their water bottle in their car, and then they let it cool down, and then they drink it.
Yeah, so pirates.
Moves, guys. That's
Moves.
what you'll get. But I hope you all heard. Minimize plastic in your environment. Number one. Thank you. I like it. I'm totally down with that. Okay, so that's tip number one. Tip number two. Hit me, girls.
All right. Number two is to avoid household and personal care products with unnatural fragrances. These are often listed as parfum.
Parfum?
So that was our French accent.
Parfum?
So these contain something called, it's a chemical called phthalates, which is obviously difficult to say. It's PHTHALATES. The phthalates, similar to BPA, mimic hormones like estrogen that actually halt the maturation of our eggs. These can be found, obviously fragrances are almost in every sort of product now, but that includes detergent, cleaning products, lotions, shampoos, and even nail polish. So
nail polish.
But there are, I think that, some of the stuff, the more people look for them and ask for them, the more products will exist that are, some already are making products that are phthalate free or no synthetic fragrances. So you can look for those two things on different product labels.
So perfume, does that include like just perfume, like all fragrances?
Yeah.
Every single fragrance? So we all just need to smell
Go a little more natural. Essential oil-based perfumes and things like that with a little bit of digging you can find.
There's actually an app that you can download called Think Dirty, and they've started to
Think
categorize.
Dirty?
Yeah.
Not what you think.
Interesting search results, but it's great because they actually take a variety of different products and can tell you which ones are toxic.
So that was number two.
Yep. So number three, and this is switch to paraben-free cosmetics where possible. So you've probably heard about parabens, and what they are is a class of chemicals mostly used for preservatives. They stop mold and bacteria growing in your foundation and other products. Studies have now shown they can actually penetrate your skin, and then they can be absorbed by your tissues, and in there, that's where they can mimic your hormones, which leads to a negative effect on your eggs. With parabens, a lot more companies are starting to switch onto this, but the key is always to read the label, read the packaging, and avoid makeup and other cosmetics, and that's really the key with parabens, where a lot of them are hiding. With any ingredients that have the word paraben in, so it's
paraben free, guys.
Butyl paraben, methyl paraben, propyl paraben, so it's usually hidden in the longer chemical.
Okay, so it's not. So you're not just looking for paraben, you're looking for a long word that contains paraben.
That's usually at the end of the word. Yeah.
Usually at the end of the word. Good hint, because I would not have known that at all, and I would have just looked, oh, no paraben. Okay, cool, moving along. Okay, great. Tip number 4. Hit us, Britt.
All right. So now we get into supplements that you should take in tandem with your healthy diet. You should replace folic acid supplements with its more active form, which is called 5-MTHF. So you've probably heard about folic acid being good for pregnancy, but it actually also has a massive effect on the quality of your eggs. But 5-MTHF is what your body converts to folic acid anyway. So if you take the active form, it can be more effective.
Okay.
But it can also be commonly called methylfolate and sold under brand names such as Metafolin and Declin.
Okay.
I hope you have a pencil.
Yes, I hope that everyone has a pencil of that. But
continuing on in sort of boosters or supplements to a healthy diet, you might be taking coenzyme Q10 already, but with that too, there's a more active form that you should perhaps switch it up to, which is called ubiquinol, beginning with a U, ubiquinol. And so how coenzyme Q10 can affect your eggs is it fuels the mitochondria, which they exist in every cell in your body. They're basically like little power banks for the cellular processes. And it takes a huge amount of energy to mature eggs properly, and mitochondria supply that energy. And now the older you get, the less able the mitochondria are to perform all those, to supply the energy, so that the cell can perform all the processes to mature the egg. So actually your eggs have the cells in your eggs have about 3 times the amount of mitochondria of any other cell in your body. That's how energy intensive this process is. Athletes take it because it's such a cellular fueling supplement. But the key really is make sure if you are going to take it, that you look for it in its active form, ubiquinol. It's better absorbed.
Ubiquinol, guys. That's what you need to get.
All right, and then the third thing is to take a prenatal vitamin. This really provides you with a cocktail of antioxidants, which can help your egg or protect your egg as it's growing through the different stages of maturation. That you should look for a high quality one that includes vitamin B12, zinc, selenium, and iodine. There's usually a ton of other things in there, some of which can help support the absorption of one another, but those are the sort of main layers.
And the key is basically to look for one without
magnesium stearate is a bulking agent that is often not something you want inside. It says it's usually listed under other ingredients on the bottom of the label.
So moving on, number 7, go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day.
What?
Yeah, so sleep spikes, like I see, we talk about it a lot, but we talk about getting enough of it a lot. But this is a bit more about the rhythm of your sleep, which scientists have found is also important. So it's not just about getting sufficient sleep, it's that good quality sleep translates to good quality eggs. That's because reproductive hormones are produced when you sleep. It's a hormonal process too. Women with irregular sleep-wake patterns, so shift workers like cabin crew or nurses, they tend to have far more reproductive problems than women who don't shift work.
Exactly, and your circadian rhythm is sort of looking at 2 things. One is it gets dark, melatonin rises, and that helps you sleep naturally. And then you also have your natural circadian rhythm. So some people are morning people, some people, would rather sleep, later in the evening. So it's the combination of those two factors. Basically, if you stay up till midnight, chances are, you are working against the natural body clock.
Very interesting, girls. What's next?
Number 8 is about adding more into your meals than taking away. So thinking about egg health as packing as much nutrients as you possibly can, rather than thinking of this as a diet. So, there's an endless amount of nutrients and antioxidants in a variety of foods that can both nourish and protect your eggs. And this also means that if you have a restrictive diet, Susana,
Yes,
vegetarian. A lot of people have nutrient deficiencies, so you just have to be much more conscious of it. That's not just vegetarians. It's if you're on a ketogenic diet, we're all susceptible to the fad diet. So just have to be very conscious of that. So some ways to sort of combat that are if you have some sort of dietary pattern, let's say that you eat eggs every morning, maybe try adding in an avo or some spinach, really adding some diversity to your foods so you can get a variety of those nutrients. And actually salads are a great way to just chuck in everything, lots of seeds and sprouts and berries and crunchy vegetables, really making sure to, throw in the kitchen sink when it comes to nutrition.
Balance for every meal, not just across the day.
That's it. So important. And I suppose you find that in colours, right, as well? Like the more colourful your bowl is, your plate is, the better it is.
And all of those nutrients, when they work together, often they bring out the best in each other, if that makes sense. So it's not just about eating something healthy, but it's about eating them in combination so that they can kind of work in partnership.
And other than the key supplements that we discussed and a couple more, it's not enough just to pop a vitamin pill, because often the absorption it happens much better from natural foods rather than
and there's also combinations, right, of minerals and vitamins that you should take together. Yeah.
And so the penultimate tip is also a dietary one. Eat like a diabetic. Don't want big fluctuations of insulin. Insulin is a hormone, but it has a cascading effect on the function of other hormones, which includes estrogen. So you want to keep it balanced. If your diet contains excessive sugar, which is obviously all refined carbohydrates, not just the white stuff, that can lead to an insulin imbalance. And this is especially problematic for women with PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is quite a common reproductive health issue. So really something simple, let's say switching the white carbs to brown carbs. You don't want to eat foods that wreak havoc on your blood sugar levels. That's important for egg health.
Brilliant. Is there one more?
One more.
Okay.
It's particularly apt for Capetonians, which is don't over-exercise.
I remember you telling me this, and I was like, what? No hot yoga?
But basically, a moderate amount of exercise can reduce oxidative stress, but beyond a certain point, extreme exercise can create a very detrimental amount of oxidative stress, which breaks down the quality of your eggs. So, yes, don't go after some brand new aggressive fitness routine if you're trying to prepare for fertility treatment or natural conception, it's not an excuse to be a sloth.
No. Yes, so exercise is still important.
It's still important, but to a degree.
Ladies, it's been so wonderful chatting to you both, and I'm so curious about all of this, because I know that there's so many women I know that are battling to conceive at the moment, and it's a rising problem. It's a worldwide problem, and younger ladies, hear me. Younger and younger women are battling to conceive. So it's something you really need to think about and take seriously. Waiting for one day could be one day too late. Great, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.